Hey everyone, Kat Flores here with another episode of Dance DC TV. I am here at the beautiful Latin Dancer Studio in Falls Church, Virginia with the Zafire Ladies of DC. And with me today I have the lovely Janaira. She is the OG. She is like one of the original members of the Zafire Ladies, or the Divas de Oro. So Janaira, please tell us a little bit about yourself and what brings you to the team.
Like she said, I started right when Bebe actually formed the team. I had no idea what I was getting myself into. Salsa, something very new to me, so I was just like, what the heck? Let me just go in there and see what is going to come out of it. Obviously, it was the best decision of my life. This team, I love it so much, and Bebe definitely brought something out of me that I never had before, which is confidence, fire, love, family, and all of that.
I would have to agree with that, because I remember when I first met you all those years ago, and like you were kind of shy, and you're like, well, I danced a little bit, and just now when I saw you rehearsing, you were right in the front, like, yeah, let's do it. So props to you for really improving so much. So what would you describe the team, like what's a typical practice like?
Usually Bebe kicks our butt every Monday. Where I'm sweaty right now, this is how we are every Monday. She's a very strong teacher, but she also has a soft side.
5, 6, 7. Let's go.
And we're back with Dance DC TV, and I'm here at Latin Dancer Studio with the Zafire Ladies and my new friend Karen, who joined the team about a year ago, and I heard that she drives all the way from Baltimore every week to be here with this team. So welcome, Karen. Thank you so much for being with us. Tell us a little bit about how this last year with the ladies has been.
It's been a lot of fun. I have learned so much throughout the whole year. Once, like I told her before, is like right before performance, I get super nervous, but once I'm on stage, it's this confidence that comes over me, and I'm just ready to kill the stage. So it's been such a great experience.
Oh my gosh. So if she's performed at any of your venues and there's a hole in the floor, that's because she was there burning a hole. So you can just bill her for that. So Karen, what would you describe? What is a typical practice for you? Like, where's your head at when you come to practice every week?
So usually I'm very quiet. I really don't like chit chat with other girls. And if I do, it's like, we're calming down, just drink water. But usually I'm just like focused in just getting the counts or like warming up or just making sure like at the end of the day when I leave is like I remember those counts, So just super focused.
Nice. Well, that's good. That requires, and again, Karen is also, you'll see her in the front row with all the other talented ladies. So for sure. Well, everybody on your team is talented. Don't get me wrong. So what would you describe some of your dance goals and how being part of the team helps you reach those goals?
Okay, so part of a few goals that I have is just learning technique-wise, like learning my styling, lady styling. So when I come here, I make sure like I look at Bebe and like how she expresses herself. It tells me, okay, well you have to do this hand here, just where to place my hands, and that just helps me with the techniques and just styling overall with my performances. So.
And yeah, I can imagine being part of a team, like you all want to make sure all your movements are the same and all of that stuff. So very cool. Well, do you have any words of advice for some of our viewers who maybe are thinking about joining a dance team?
Yes, definitely. I highly recommend it. If you are nervous, don't worry about it. Like it will just break down those nervousness and you will definitely you will feel so much more confidence. I promise you, yes.
Great. Well, Karen, thanks again for joining us and for chatting with us. I'll let you get back to practice before baby notices you're gone, okay? So, thank you. See you on the dance floor.
Do it better.
Christina here. So she's been with the team about a year, right? So tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, what's a typical day for you, and what brings you to the team.
So I'm Puerto Rican, El Salvadorian, Dominican, German, and French. I got a nice, good old mix. My friends call me a mutt. That's fun. Like you said, I've been dancing here for about a year, a little over a year now. Typical day for me, school, 2 jobs, come here, release the stress. So I love it. It's a great stress relief coming here.
Wow, that sounds like a very busy day for you, Mondays. And so what do you feel when you're on stage performing? I know that we'll talk a little bit more about the team in a second, but I really want to get to what performing does for you.
So every time I perform, I always have that nice initial butterflies in my stomach. I think that every performer gets, and it's a good kind of nerve, just because like you care, and I really care, and I always try and put that into my dance. And sorry, so I have like a alter ego kind of thing going on. That it's an ugly name, but Patricia comes out, and she just is lit on. She tries to give her all, like, and then once I'm off, and it's back to regular old Christina.
Oh my gosh. That's amazing. So I've actually heard stories of dancers who kind of have this alter ego, and they just transform right there on the stage. So that is amazing that you share that same type of story. So what's the practice like for you? Like what's going through your head when you're in a practice session?
So every Monday when we have practice, there's a lot. There is the fact, so once we've learned a routine, I always try and pick one or two things that I still feel I'm not very good at, that I want to improve, because there's always room for improvement. So I try and stick with those one or two things, and I just keep practicing it until I feel like I've gotten better. And then once I get one, then I add another thing that I feel like I need improvement on. So that's pretty much what happens every Monday here for me personally.
That sounds like a really smart way to kind of compartmentalize and to really build on your improvement. So what's your favorite thing about being part of this team?
Oh, I love all the girls. They're so great. It's like a family. Bebe always instills, like, we're a family, we're together, we love, respect one another. So I really love that about this team.
You're gonna start from here. Da, 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 da.
Hold on. Let me start.
Oh, right here? Are you here? Yes. Yeah. I'm gonna start in the front. You're gonna be in the middle. Then I was in the end.
So you're here.
Yes. And
I'll right up front here.
And then you're gonna get to my spot. Okay, get closer. Get closer. I would say, guys, go a little further so they can take it better, right? Go further. If you guys like practice, you can practice on the side. Yeah. Especially the girls who are going to, I would say the new show, like the new girls, yes, go ahead, guys. Right here. I would say. Okay, ready? Attitude and everything, ladies.
of the Zafire Ladies DC team. So, Bebe, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being with us. It is an honor to have you. And it's actually kind of a rare thing because if you see her Facebook, she is a jet setter. So it's kind of a rare opportunity that we get to talk to her. So tell us a little bit about yourself and what brought you to become the director of this team.
So hello everyone, and thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate it, guys. I've been dancing since I'm a little girl, and I always wanted to be a dancer. I always wanted to dance because when I used to be in the class, my friends, they were studying, and I was like dancing. I was always feeling that I'm dancing, or I love the music. And I remember when I was teenager one day. So most of you guys know, but I am from Turkey. In Turkey, we don't dance salsa. What is salsa? And we have different backgrounds, different traditional dancing stuff, and belly dancing. And that's what I've done, all of it. I love them too, but salsa is I love more. So when I was a teenager, one day I was sick. I didn't be able to go to school, and I was watching the movies. And I watched a movie about the salsa dancers, and I felt in love. And I said, "Ooh, I really want to learn this. This is so beautiful." But before that, I was doing ballroom dancing. So my training came from ballroom, ballet, and gymnastic. So then I went to one of my best friends was a salsa dancer, well-known salsa dancer in Europe, and she was begging me, "Please, let's go together. You're gonna be so good, blah blah blah." And I said one day, "Okay, I'll go one day." And then she begged me. I went to her birthday, and amazing dancers were there, and they said, "Would you like to dance?" I was like, "Okay, I'll dance." And I never stopped after that, never stopped. And I came to the U.S. 2010 to Miami, and I started learning other routines, Cuban style salsa, and I loved it, Afro-Cuban, and I kept going. I started Zafire Ladies DC 2016, and since then I'm doing it.
And this girl does not stop. Like, you can take the girl out of the ballroom, but you cannot take the dance out of the girl, because you can tell at least for me, every time I watch you dance, like salsa is not the only thing that you know. Like, there's such a wealth of information in your head that just shows every time I watch you perform. You're just amazing.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you.
So, what type of goals do you have for this team? Where do you see this team in the next couple years or so?
Yeah. Actually, this is a great question. Thank you very much for asking. My main thing when I started this, I was pregnant. I was probably 8 months pregnant. Yeah. And when they asked me first, "Bebe, I want you to be the director of Zafire Ladies DC," I said no, because I was huge pregnant, and I never thought I was gonna be a director because I still think I'm not really good. And
Don't believe her.
I swear I really think that way. And they pushed me again, they asked me again, and I said, "You know what? I don't know, no. I was so scared. And then they asked me again, I was like, "Okay, you know what? Let's try this." And the first thing I said, "I'm huge pregnant, who's gonna come to the class?" And when I did the auditions, I think it was like more than 20 people, and I was completely shocked. And this team, my director is Zafire Dance Company, and I get all the routines from Arlette Guerra, which is a director of Zafire Ladies, and she's the one who puts all this together. And I love her style, I love her costumes, everything that she does. I like really like sexy stuff, like shiny things, very super like woman style. And and we started, and my main goal was to be able to perform by myself, for myself, to be better by myself. And we kept doing it, and I love training, and I like to train a lot. And I started taking a lot of privates with so many directors, like worldwide dancers, in Europe, in here. And then I kind of like learned how to teach my students, to be better and to train them better, and compete by themselves. Don't compete to any other person. Just compete for yourself to be better every time. Every time you perform, I want you to be better and better. That's my own thing. So so far we perform everywhere in whole DMV area.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for